Okay, brilliant. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our TikTok Shop 101 webinar. We'll just give it a couple of minutes before we start so then people have a chance to arrive. If you'd like to, we absolutely love this, please let us know who you are in the chat, where you're from, link your store. Yeah, we'd love to see that from you guys. Oh, we've got lots of people on. Hi, everyone. Hi, Helen. Hi, Valentina from New York. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Max. There's Elaine calling from Virginia. Got a big mix. Brent from Arkansas. Heather from Massachusetts. Hi, Kayleen from Nebraska. Rose in Denver. We've got Fumi in New York. Yeah, we've got a ton of people. We've got Max in Chicago. Hi, Max. Omar in California. And Sunday from North Georgia. He's storiestickerbongo.com. Shout out. We've got Scott from Los Angeles. Hey, Scott from Ethereal Realm Reserve. That sounds cool. Cool shop name. Got Helen from saysportgear.com. Got Eden from Miami with hotrocks.com. Raymond from bloomandbeyondco.com, another cool name. Rich from Maryland, froglog.us or .usl. That's cool. What do you sell, Rich? We've got Jonathan, John from Vancouver, Canada. The store is Bonsai Boys Trading. Excellent. So just give it another 20 seconds or so just to let everyone arrive. Also, just as an FYI, guys, I know that not everyone likes to see the chat, so you can easily, at the top of your screen, there's a little arrow, and you can click on that to minimize the chat if you find it a little bit distracting, or you can keep the chat open. It's up to you guys. And then just as an FYI, we are recording this webinar for you, so don't worry. After the webinar finishes, you will get sent to your email inbox. You'll get a recording of this webinar. And then also afterwards, in a day or two, we'll upload this webinar to our YouTube channel so you can access it there. Okay, got a ton of people. Then we've got Alison from California. Hey, Filipos from San Francisco. Brilliant. Okay, so we've got a lot of people in now. We'll have more people that filter in, but I think I'm happy to just start the webinar. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, awesome. So first of all, you see there's not just myself here. I'll just do a quick intro. My name is Ashley. I'm Product Marketing Manager at Judge.me, and I'm hosting today's webinar, and I'm calling from our HQ in London. And I'm also super excited to introduce our co-host, Michelle Barnum-Smith, who's calling all the way from Utah, all close to you guys, but far from me. Michelle, hi. Michelle is a TikTok Shop oracle. So she's the best person around to introduce you to TikTok Shop and answer any questions that you have in the Q&A in the end. So if you have any burning questions, add them to the chat. Michelle, just a bit of a bio. Michelle is an official TikTok Shop partner and the founder of TikTok Shop Sellers. She brings over 24 years of marketing experience. She's an e-commerce industry thought leader and has launched over 100 brands on TikTok Shop and has trained over 1,000 sellers. So a ton of experience there. So really happy to have you here today, Michelle. You just want to say a quick comment?
I'm so excited to be here. I love all of the energy in the chat. I usually train Amazon sellers. And they're super secretive about what they sell. And I love that you guys are just here's what I sell. Here's my website. I love that. I love how open y'all are.
Okay, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, keep on sending us your messages. We love that. And it's really great for community building to find other merchants that are similar to yourself. Right, so just a quick run through of the webinar agenda. So we've had feedback from our merchants that a lot of you are quite green when it comes to TikTok Shop, and you're somewhat undecided whether or not to get started, whether it's right for your brand. So we thought it'd be really useful to have very much a back to basics webinar introducing TikTok Shop and different selling strategies, so you can better judge whether TikTok Shop is right for your brand. In the future, we are potentially planning to do another webinar in a few months with some more advanced TikTok Shop content. So let us know if you're interested. But of course, we thought it's best to start at the beginning. So just for a bit of interactivity, we're going to set a poll live now, just to see how many of you already sell on TikTok Shop. So I'm just going to share a poll now. It'd be great to see your responses. Okay, got tons straight away. Let's give it another few seconds. Okay. Ooh, the answers keep on changing. Okay, great. So a lot of you, so 146 of you answered so far, so most of the audience. So it seems that the vast majority of you, so like 75%, don't actually sell on TikTok Shop yet. That's interesting, Michelle. And then around like 25% do already sell on TikTok Shop. Like even if you do already sell on TikTok Shop, you will find this webinar useful. Okay, awesome. Yeah, it's around 75-25. Brilliant. Okay, so thank you everyone for answering. It's great to get started with that. So just a quick one on the agenda. So this webinar should last roughly 60 minutes. I'll first introduce you to a short run through of our new TikTok Shop feature, where you can now sync your Shopify reviews from the Judge.me app through to your TikTok Shop. Then I'll hand you over to Michelle, who will introduce you to selling on TikTok Shop and her 5 keys to TikTokability. Try saying that 5 times. TikTokability is quite difficult. We've also set aside some time at the end for Q&As, where we'll go through a few of your pre-submitted questions and a few of your questions which you can ask throughout the webinar. And then Michelle will answer these questions for you, and we'll just see how many questions we have time for. Right, and yeah, just feel free to write your questions in the chat, and then our lovely moderators, Lily and Liam, from the Judge.me team, they'll be marking those as questions, so myself and Michelle can see them. Okay, great. So let's get started. So obviously, after this webinar, if you decide that TikTok Shop is a right sales channel for your brand, and you already have some great trustworthy Shopify reviews, you can now use these reviews as social proof to drive sales on TikTok Shop with our new Judge.me TikTok Shop review sync feature. And then once you have this new feature set up, it will basically automatically sync your Shopify reviews every 7 days to TikTok Shop. So it's quite hands-free once you've done the initial setup process. So obviously TikTok has a massive, massive audience, and TikTok Shop is an ideal place for brand discovery. Did you know that 70% of TikTok users discover new brands and products on TikTok? Yeah, it's quite a lot. And we all know the hashtag TikTok maybe buy it. So it's worth investing and looking into it. So when it comes to the Judge.me TikTok review sync feature, there's just a few things that are important for Shopify merchants to take into consideration before getting started. First of all, TikTok Shop has currently only made this feature available for US-based stores, and they do actually verify this information. So it's really important that you're a US-based store. If they do expand this feature to other markets, we will, of course, let you know in the future. Secondly, TikTok Shop does have a few rules in place to maintain the integrity of reviews shown on their platform. So please be aware that TikTok Shop syndicates both published and unpublished product reviews, but doesn't yet syndicate store reviews or review ratings. So please take this into account. Also, only verified reviews can be syndicated to TikTok Shop, and TikTok Shop does not allow review edits or deletion of any sorts. Also, just as an FYI, we've made this feature available on our for Awesome Plan users, which obviously you all know is only $15 a month, great price. However, we know that it's best for merchants to try things out to see if it's right for them before investing in this cost. So if you're actually interested in trying out the TikTok Shop feature and the other Awesome Plan features, we're offering you a free 30-day trial of our Awesome Plan right now. So I'm going to offer that trial to you guys. You should see a little pop-up on your screen in a couple of minutes. Just bear with me. There you go. Excellent. So you should see a little pop-up on the screen. And if you are interested in using the trial, great, click on that. If you're not, if you're already an Awesome Plan user, great. If you're not sure, you can save it for later. But if you just click on the CTA button there, it'll take you to a landing page. And I'll just leave that up for a couple of seconds. If you want to just save that and come back to it later, I'll be showing it again at the end. I'll put it in the chat. Great, I'm just going to close this now. Excellent. Great, so I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview of how you can set up the feature on your store. Unfortunately, I can't do a live demo with you. I know you guys really like that, but I can't do that as the full setup process for this feature does actually take a few days. So logistically, it doesn't really work out. And also, I'm based in the UK, I'm not a US merchant, so it's a bit difficult from that side of things. But hopefully I can give you a quick overview of the steps so you can be a little bit more better informed and the process that's involved. So first, we advise that you install the official TikTok for Shopify app from the Shopify App Store. You will need this to sync your products, manage your inventory, and fulfill your orders directly from within your Shopify admin. There are also other like third-party Shopify compatible integrations that you can use instead if you don't want to use a TikTok for Shopify app, but we recommend this app if you want. And I'm just going to share with you guys like a handy full setup guide that TikTok Shop have created for merchants, and this should help to detail like the full setup process for you. So I'm just going to share this, and I've just shared that TikTok quick start guide in the handouts. So that's another download that you can access later if you're just interested in learning more about how to do that. So if you're already using the TikTok for Shopify app, you will need to connect your TikTok shop or TikTok for business account or create one. You will need to complete business verification for this, which will include entering your business information and some form of identification. So that's really important. And then once you have everything set up with TikTok Shop, you can then go to the Judge.me app on your Shopify admin. And then all you have to do is click on Manage Reviews on the left-hand side of the app. And then you click on Reviews Dashboard at the top. You click on Reviews Dashboard at the top. And then you just need to click on Import and Sync Reviews. And then in this section of the Judge.me app, you just scroll down to the Sync Reviews section and then click Show Settings and then click on the Get Started button. And now after this, all you have to do is you sign into your TikTok Shop account. And then once that's connected, you return to the Judge.me app and then click on Sync Reviews. And next, you just need to select whether you'll be adding products via the official TikTok Shop Shopify app as recommended, or if you want to do this via another third-party app. There's even an option if you'd like to do it to manually upload products. Now, just for the final step, you just need to check the box I confirm and then click confirm. And that should start the review syndication process of TikTok Shop. And then just to be aware, just in terms of timings, the initial sync, TikTok Shop advises that the initial sync may take up to 5 days to appear in your TikTok Shop. And then after that, new Shopify reviews will be automatically synced every 7 days. Okay, awesome, brilliant. So just before I hand over to Michelle to give you an introduction to selling on TikTok Shop, we're just going to run a couple of additional polls just to understand how you all feel about TikTok Shop. So I'm just going to launch another poll to understand your issue. If you have any, if you're already selling on TikTok Shop, like what are the issues that you're facing? So let me launch that. Okay, cool. So I've just launched another poll. So if you're already selling on TikTok Shop, let us, the 25% of you who are, let us know what are your biggest issues. Okay, cool. So I'll give people a bit of time to respond. Okay, so people are still responding, but it seems that the main issue is, Michelle, the main issue is registering my business.
Very typical. Yeah.
Very typical, yeah. The second one is content creation.
Also very typical.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So registering my business and content creation, those are the top two issues. And then after that, it's setting up listings, and then setting up TikTok shop ads, and then other is at 14%. Okay, thanks guys. That's really interesting. The reason why we're doing these polls is so we can understand what sort of content we can create in the future to better help you guys get started with TikTok shop, if it's right for you, obviously. Okay. Awesome. And then there's just another poll just about content creation, since you mentioned that's a big issue. So if you could just answer that one. I'm just going to launch it now. It's just a really simple yes or no. So do you guys enjoy creating content around your products? Is it something that you enjoy? Are you a creative person? Do you like to put your face on the screen? Okay, brilliant. Thanks everyone for answering. Yeah, do you see that, Michelle? So there's quite a few. So it's evening out. Almost 50-50. I thought that would have been like 70% no and 30% yes, but we are speaking to a mainly American audience, and you're not as interested as Brits.
We love being on camera.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. So I'd actually say, so it's 52% yes, enjoy creating content, and 48% said no. So I'm curious to know, like, why don't you like creating content? Those of you who don't, like, well, why do you like creating content? Like, let us know in the chat. Okay, I'm just gonna look at a few of the comments. So Brett says, love the auto-generated content, but sometimes way off the mark. Well,
auto-generated is not it.
Yeah, I'm shy, time-consuming. I don't ever know what to create. Never feels worth it. It's a hassle for me. I've been doing online business and I'm not used to creating content. Don't know how to make content. I feel pushy, not a fan of selling. Okay, so a variety of different reasons there. I like creating new things. Not sure how and how to show my face. I'm not shy of the camera, even at my age, 77. You go, Jim. Introverted, shy. I don't like creating content because I make skincare.
It's fairly typical, all of that.
Yeah.
You guys are not alone. You're not alone in.
No. Okay, the relationship between I'm creative in my products and not with the content creation. Okay, so we've got a ton of different reasons there. So it's really interesting. Excellent. Great, so this is a great time. I'm going to stop presenting, and I'm actually going to hand you over to our TikTok shop expert, Michelle. So I'll just stop sharing my screen.
All right, cool. Okay. So here on out, guys, if you have questions as they pop up, can you put them in the question area, and then we will get to those. That's best for us to be able to find them at a glance during the Q&A, and we'll do our best to get into all of that content for you when the time comes at the end. So, all right, let's just go forward. Okay, so let's talk about TikTok Shop. It's important to understand kind of like the history of TikTok Shop and where it emerged. Prior to TikTok Shop starting in September 2023, it really was kind of originated from a hashtag, especially during COVID, and the whole idea of hashtag TikTok made me buy it, and the whole idea behind social commerce really began. And the idea of it's not just being influenced to buy something, but TikTok being the source and the place that people went to look for, purposely being influenced to buy something. That's where people were going to discover not just new content and new community and people to follow and conspiracy theories galore, but where they actually went to discover products as well. So this is just a few stats in and around TikTok and the reach that it had in influencing 3 out of 4 buyers being influenced to buy something because of TikTok Shop. And along those lines, it's really important to understand that the future of commerce really is social commerce. And it's the whole idea of where people gather, that's where commerce happens. And you can see here in these stats that there's over 1 billion monthly users of TikTok in the United States. sorry, I'm using presenter view for the first time, and it's a little like new to me in how I can see my screen. But it's one of those opportunities to really kind of like just look at this data and either be terrified by it or like really lean into it. So let me ask you guys a question to help you kind of understand the idea and the difference between social commerce and the difference between like normal marketplaces, both online and in person. So I want to ask you a question. We did not turn this into a poll, but maybe we should. Is that when was the last time you hung out at Walmart for fun? Maybe you guys can tell me in the chat. Let's see. Are you just there for eggs and milk and bread, or are you there to like hang out and spend time and be entertained? Never. A whole lot of nevers, right? Like, get me the heck out of here. Like, you're in, you're out, you're on your way, right? Like, oh my gosh. Absolutely. You know, I mean, I feel like Costco is a little bit of a discovery marketplace, but for the most part, we just want to be in and out. And Amazon is actually the same way. People don't hang out on Amazon. The average amount of time that somebody is on Amazon is 10 minutes. So I want you to compare that to TikTok, where people go to be entertained, where they go to hang out. And of the user base, they hang out for an average of 95 minutes a day. So imagine going somewhere where people like to spend time and introducing your product to them there. And include in that an entirely frictionless buying experience, and you have a winner. And that's really what we're talking about today, is this, you know, from discovery to checkout in seconds. And one time I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw a product that I wanted. And so I quickly timed myself from like, I hit record to see like from discovery to checkout, how long did it take? And it took 15 seconds on average, from going from scrolling to buying back to scrolling. So this is what makes TikTok so powerful, is the algorithm serves relevant products, just like it serves relevant content that is relevant to you specifically. It also serves relevant products based on your interests and the ways that you've interacted on TikTok in the past. It is so frictionless. And as a marketer, I've been doing marketing for 24 years, and I hate all things friction. I want to limit how long it takes me to get somebody's attention from a marketing perspective and to get somebody to purchase. So a frictionless buying experience is like chef's kiss when it comes to TikTok Shop, and specifically, you know, as it relates to social commerce. We have seamless checkouts with built-in payment options. And you guys know this as Shopify sellers and having your own websites, that you can invest all of this money in marketing, you know, Instagram ads, et cetera, and send people to your website. And where are most of your drop-offs happening? It's probably at that checkout, during checkout. And then from a buying experience, people are back to scrolling in seconds. They never leave the platform. And this is really important for you guys to understand, especially if you're new to either selling on TikTok in general or selling on TikTok Shop. You go from being on the platform, watching your videos, to checking out and back to scrolling. It all happens in platform. And that's really the beauty of TikTok. So here's the example of what I'm talking about here. So this is the mic that I discovered from that creator. Here's the product detail page where I can see all of the different offers. There's my checkout experience, literally just seconds long. And I was not, this GIF is not sped up. It is just, this is how it actually went down. So you can see how that worked. So let me just show you a couple of examples of sellers who have experienced similar, you know, just massive sales from selling on TikTok and the categories that they're in. This is a camping and hiking brand. They went viral pretty much immediately after getting on TikTok. Their products are very demonstrable and people just love their products. So this is the camping and hiking space. This brand is in kids education. They really started implementing early last year and saw sales just absolutely take off month over month, day over day, week over week, month over month, and have really built out their brand, so much so that they have products that are just TikTok products, not even on Amazon, just on TikTok Shop that they've expanded to. Here's a kids craft brand. They kind of started selling early last summer and kind of tried it their own way. Started using my recommendations in late October and immediately made over 1,400 sold over 1,400 products in 24 days. And that growth has just skyrocketed since then and really taken off even till this day. They have some stock out issues right now. It's tragic. See, that's the beauty and the pain of TikTok Shop is sometimes forecasting can be difficult. Fashion and accessories. This brand started in April of last year. I started consulting with them in 2020 in June, and you can see how sales just absolutely ramped up for them. Now, something that's interesting about them is that they've been in business for 5 years in the fashion accessory space, and there's some seasonality to their business, and they had never had a really Q4. Q3 was really kind of their ramp down, and late Q1 is their ramp up period. And this was their first real Q4. And you can see in 180 days, almost $800,000 in sales. I mean, I think they did pretty well for their first Q4 and really crushing it. And obviously, no longer a seasonal brand. And that's, I love that. I love to see that. Here's a food and beverage company who attended a workshop that I trained in, and they went from 2 sales a day to 180 sales a day, and absolutely just crushing it, in their brands and growing. Here's another food and beverage brand. I helped them launch in January, and they have just been killing it ever since. If we could keep their best sellers in stock, then I can only imagine what their revenue would be. But they also, in addition to all their growth on TikTok, they have doubled their Amazon sales as well from that beautiful halo effect that we love. That TikTok has an effect on all your sales channels, not just on TikTok Shop. This is a ball sports brand. And here's another sports and outdoors brand. And they themselves have their Q3 to Q1 is also their slowest season, but you can see just in the last 180 days, I don't know about you, but I would take $1 million in their slow season. Oh my gosh, they're just absolutely killing it. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of what is possible on TikTok Shop. And if you're feeling the FOMO, rightly so, but maybe you're also not sure if TikTok Shop is right for you. So that's kind of the question that I want to answer for the 75% of you who are not on TikTok Shop yet, is help you to identify if TikTok Shop is an opportunity for you. And of course, where we want to start first is making sure that we can actually sell our product on TikTok. And there are restrictions in place. So it's important to review their prohibited products list. This list is not comprehensive, but I do recommend that you just Google search this so that you can make sure that you're not putting in a whole bunch of effort to try to get on TikTok just to find out that you cannot actually sell any of your products on there. So it's always important to know what the rules are for the marketplace that you're wanting to sell in, and you have to play by those rules. Okay, so let's, just like with any other marketplace, and especially TikTok Shop, we want to validate the product opportunity for our products first. And so I've developed the 5 keys to TikTokability. And as I go through these, I want you to really think about your products and if they meet these filters. Okay. So the first step to TikTokability is demonstrability. Can your product be easily demonstrated? We have seconds to capture somebody's attention. This is interruption marketing, right? No one goes to TikTok with the intent to purchase that day. They're there to scroll. They're there to be entertained. They're there to check out, right? Check out mentally, not necessarily with their wallets. And so we want to capture that attention, and we have to do so with demonstrability. So here's an example of what I'm talking about. Okay, some of these there's no audio on. Some of them they do have audio, so bear with us, as I don't think that the platform will share the audio with you. But I want you to, like, in the example of this girl with her makeup, immediately I wanted, were some of you thinking like, what is going on here? You know, what is on her face? What is with her face? It kind of stops you, right? You're like, what is wrong with her? What is she doing? You know? And as she starts to peel off the makeup, you're just hypnotized, right? She's a beautiful girl, of course, but she's also got all the stuff all over her face, right? So it's very demonstrable. Okay, number 2 are unique attributes. Is there something unique about your product that can make it stand out? And I want you to be honest with yourself here, because I know that we love our products. They're our babies, but sometimes our babies are ugly, right? Sometimes we need to like be honest as we look at our product and see, like, did we do our product development well? Is there something unique about this, especially compared to our competitors? So let's see if this will, oops. Is it starting? Okay, can you guys see that okay? The candle? Okay, cool. So very interesting, right? Like this product, I think is very unique. It has some very unique attributes to it, right? It's reusable, it's customizable in its scent, right? Most of us buy candles that are pre-scented and we're making that decision, you know, based on that. So like when I'm scrolling through TikTok and I see this, I have a hard time buying fragrances on TikTok because I'm so like, I want to smell it first. You know, I want to know whether it's good or not. But this something is, like, I think that product is very unique and has a lot of TikTok ability to it. Anytime I'm on TikTok and a product stops me, I immediately save it anyway for use in these kind of scenarios as well. Okay, so the third key to TikTok ability is that it serves a niche. Does your product have a passionate, defined audience? And I like to use this example because a lot of people think that TikTok is just for like all those young kids that are just doing dances on TikTok, right? Maybe in early 2020 when we were in COVID and TikTok was so new, but TikTok now has every age demographic represented, every like interest group is on there. If you serve a niche, guaranteed they're on TikTok. So here's this one. Okay, so we'll move on from that. So it's pretty obvious that I don't know if you guys could hear that at all, but that particular brand, it's very obvious, it's very fishing oriented. It's kind of redneck. and typically rednecks have a very kind of conservative political focus, those types of things. And I mean, this brand crushes it on TikTok all day, every day. So absolutely, those products that serve niches do very, very well on TikTok. Okay, so then the next step is or the next key to TikTokability is that it solves a problem. It has a problem. The problem is very easy to identify, and the solutions are quick to identify and demonstrate. So something to keep in mind is that when we're talking about discovery on TikTok, we're not just talking about discovering your product, which is the solution. We're also here to help people discover the problem that they might have that your product solves, right? They need to be aware that they have a problem and that your product is the solution to that problem, right? So the fastest way that you can do that is to demonstrate the problem. Okay, so let's get into that. Okay, so if you can hear her, she was talking about the sunglasses that she was wearing, and if you've ever had long hair or you've worn sunglasses, they get caught in your hair when you pull them up. And ladies, especially, we love to use our sunglasses as like makeshift headbands. I do it every time I wear sunglasses. I'm like transitioning between having them on my head and putting them up in my hair and back and forth, depending on what's going on. And those sunglasses don't get caught in your hair. They don't rip your hair out. They don't get tangled up in your hair. Like, amazing, right? They're cute and they don't hurt me. Yes, we love these things, right?
Yeah, sorry guys. Michelle, we can't hear the audio, but I think this just goes to show that another thing that's important for TikTok is subtitles.
Yeah.
I'm sorry guys. The audio's not working there, but yeah, the video can kind of speak for itself.
It really can. It really can, because they're demonstrating. They're not just talking about the product, right? They are actively demonstrating. Okay. So then I'll show this next video, but you won't be able to hear it. And I'll just kind of speak to what he says. So the fifth key to TikTokability is that it's optimized for impulse buying. So, everything when it comes to TikTok Shop, because people are discovering there, they don't have high buyer intent. Not like when they are searching on Google or they're going to Amazon and searching for a solution to that problem that they're having. They're there because they're there to be entertained, right? And so when you've caught that attention and people are going to your product detail page, you need to optimize your products so that they are impulse shopping oriented, that we're not just losing them. And so the kind of like key price range is that $20 to $50 range really is the best price point for your products on TikTok Shop. It's not to say that higher can't work or that lower can't work, but that's kind of the ideal range. And then there's also some other little bells and whistles that you want to put in place to really optimize that buying experience. Okay, so I won't get into exactly like I won't make you watch the whole thing, but you can read what it says on the screen, right? $44.99 and free shipping. So if you could have heard it, he was saying, "Hey, this viral limited time, da da da," and right now it's at its best price I've ever seen it at $52.99. So he's saying that audibly, but we're reading that it's actually cheaper. And so we're like, if he's saying that the best price is $52.99 and that's the cheapest he's seen, holy moly, I got to get this right now. We don't know how long this price is going to last, how long this deal is going to be available, right? And I'm not saying that you lie in your selling, but if you are developing content that's oriented towards any sales that you're running or those types of things, that you're optimized for that buying experience. Okay. All right. So hopefully that gives you kind of an idea of those 5 keys. Now you want to actually look at it from a filtering standpoint, and you want to meet at least 3 out of the 5 criteria. And maybe you have a variety of products that you sell. And so it's good to do this on a product by product basis. So maybe product 1 is highly demonstrable, it solves a problem, and is priced for impulse buying. Product 2, it has unique attributes, it serves a niche, and is priced for impulse buying. And product 3 is demonstrable, it's unique, and it's priced for impulse buying. You can see the one that I like the most is priced for impulse buying. So if you sell like a luxury product or something that's probably higher priced, TikTok is going to be a longer sales cycle for you. Whereas, if it meets at least 3 of the 5 other criteria, then you have a better chance. So Ashley, I think we have a poll.
Yeah. So guys, we're just going to launch a poll now. So based on this slide, so learning what you just learned about TikTok, the 5 keys to TikTok ability, think about the products that you sell and how many out of these 5 criteria do you think your products fulfill? We're just curious to know. I know it's a bit of a tough one. You got to kind of think about it, but really think about it long and hard. So we'll just give people 20 seconds or so just to answer.
And be honest with yourself, right? I don't want you to bring a product to market that is not right for the marketplace. And I tell sellers no more than I tell them yes. I met with a seller who had like 7 brands and like 100 products across his brands. And it just, because this is like in me at this point, like I was able to like look at all of his stuff in like 10 minutes and be like, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes. And that saved him so much time and energy instead of like giving into that FOMO of like, oh, I see all of these other people are making money on TikTok Shop. Is it right for me? And then when something is that 5, 4, or 3, it makes me so excited for them because I'm like, yes, this is an opportunity for you. Take a look at this.
Yeah, definitely. Just to make sure that no one, gets the time wasted. Brilliant. So Michelle, the results are in. Thanks everyone for answering. So the most popular result is 4, which is like 36% of people say their products meet at least like 4. And then the next one is 3. So 32% of people say their products meet at least 3. So the vast majority of webinar attendees do meet at least 3 out of the 5. So that's really interesting to know.
Awesome. Now, this is just one step that I train about when it comes to product validation. There's other things that you can do. I always recommend that you actually download the app and search for, relevant Me Too kind of products and see, are people buying, are people selling, and answer that question. And then there are softwares out there that you can do more in-depth research on and really dive into the data about revenue and really dig in. And I do a lot of training in and around kind of going deeper on that opportunity. So if you're a 1 or 2, it may be one of those things that you have to dig in a little bit deeper to really discover if the opportunity is right for you. Okay, so how many of you are ready to start selling on TikTok Shop? Those 3 to 5s, it sounds like you qualify, you're ready to go. So if you are, if that's you, we would love to chat with you. We would love to chat with all of you. And sometimes it can be overwhelming on knowing where to get started. So we're offering you kind of a free chat to discuss your specific brand to determine if TikTok Shop is right for you. So this is a QR code that goes straight to our calendar where you can book an opportunity audit just for you and see if TikTok Shop is right for your brand and especially how we can help you get started. Let me know if that QR code, if you guys are struggling with that QR code at all, and I can get you in the chat.
Okay, guys. Excellent. Should we go for 10 more, few more seconds, Michelle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys okay with the QR code? Are you managing to access it? Yeah. Excellent. Okay, yeah. some of them see it. Yeah, how do I scan from phone? If you just hold your phone, if you just hold like the camera, you've got to scan that. We'll also send in a follow-up email. We'll also send you Michelle's details, and I think at the end of the webinar, it goes into Michelle's website. So we'll be able to, if you can't access it now, you'll be able to access it later. So it works with iPhone. Thanks, Matthew. Okay, excellent.
Awesome. Right. This is my favorite. This is my favorite part, is doing Q&A, because there's always so many questions about TikTok Shop.
Excellent. We have 15 minutes, guys. So that's better than, yeah, it's good. So we've got some of you pre-submitted some questions, which we've had managed to like look through beforehand. So we've got a few of those. So Michelle is going to go through those questions, and there's some juicy ones there, and she's going to answer those. And then thank you to everyone. We've got like 26 plus. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of questions which you submitted through on the chat. So after we've gone through these pre-submitted questions, we'll then go through the questions that you submitted on the chat. We'll try and get through as many as possible. Does that sound good? Excellent. Okay.
Awesome. Okay, I love rapid fire, so let's do it. So kind of the first question, and I feel like this goes with the poll earlier of, you know, what's your biggest problem with TikTok Shop? And that is business registration. And TikTok Shop knows that business registration is just one of the hardest things to get through. Just a couple of pointers. When you are doing things like submitting your documentation, use JPEGs instead of PDFs. The system reads JPEGs much better. So if you're sending documentation, images for your EIN, for your driver's license, for your social security number, use those JPEG files. Also, keep in mind that you want to use the documentation that they are actually requesting. So for example, you want to submit an SS4, the actual SS4 document, not the digital EIN document that you might receive from the IRS. You want to use the actual SS4 document, because and what they're looking for is a match between the business name, the business address, and what you actually submit, and of course the EIN, and what you actually submit on TikTok itself. Also, if you are an international seller, it's going to be really hard for you to get on the platform without a US-based point of contact, either a US beneficial owner or a US point of contact. And that is not a TikTok requirement. That is an IRS requirement. So especially with the Inform Act and the business registration process that's required there, TikTok is really kind of holding the line. And I have a lot of sellers. Every conference that I speak at, I just got back from a week in Cancun. I know, cry for me. But I was speaking at a conference there, and I was just inundated with international sellers who were like, how can we get on the platform? And I'm like, make a friend in the US and have them be your point of contact. There's no legal liability or tax liability for that point of contact person. So that is basically kind of the way to get on the platform itself. And then any kind of registration. Also, along those lines, please do not buy somebody's social security number off of Fiverr. Like, you do not want your business to be based on identity theft. So please just go the route of the legal route to get onto TikTok Shop, because that is going to benefit you now and in the future. Okay, so those are the common business registration issues that I run into. Also, working with a TikTok Shop partner, I'm on TikTok's main communication system, like their version of Slack. And I have so many friends and so many contacts at TikTok. I am like this with the TikTok compliance team. So when there are issues, I'm able to escalate those very quickly. My team is able to escalate those very quickly to the powers that be. And we're able to resolve issues much faster than working with the support chat that inevitably for any platform is terrible, right? So we can get to actual humans, whereas as sellers, you cannot. So that's one of the biggest hacks, is to actually work with a TikTok Shop partner. Okay. I'm a small seller and I'm interested in selling on TikTok Shop, but I'm nervous to put my face out there, like so many of you as well. Is there a way to be a successful TikTok Shop seller whilst staying, that's very British, whilst staying anonymous? So yes, I don't think anonymous is the term. I think what you have to keep in mind is that TikTok is content voracious, right? Content is king on TikTok. And so you need to think about, how am I going to feed content onto TikTok? And this is true. You guys should really understand this as D2C sellers, that you have to do actual marketing to sell your product, right? You have to lean in there from a content creation standpoint. So the question you really have to answer for yourself is, who is going to be creating the content? Are you as a brand going to invest in either as, you know, you obviously don't want to be the face of your brand. So who is going to be creating content consistently for you? Is it a person? Is it an influencer? Is it a content creator that you're going to hire? Or can you date around and use some UGC platforms such as Join Brands, Incense Pro, Billow, even TikTok's creator marketplace to help you create branded social content? Or can you work with the vast fleet of TikTok shop affiliates who are there anxious and willing to create content for you? Obviously, what I teach people to do is to lean into the affiliate network first and foremost, and then later build out like branded social content based on the affiliates who are converting for you, turn those into brand ambassadors, maybe make, you know, pay them to create branded content for you in the future. So it's kind of this like building of content strategy, as opposed to, oh my gosh, for me to be on TikTok, I have to, you know, start doing dancing videos. No, you don't have to do that. It's really about understanding that you do need to create content. And then what I teach is leaning into the affiliate program on TikTok Shop to be that content creation source for your brand. Okay. This is a big one. So how has the ban affected TikTok Shop? Now, this is a hot topic, right? We just experienced kind of a pseudo shutdown of TikTok end of January. And I will tell you this, never did I ever tell my sellers to pull back and to slow down from getting onto TikTok Shop or into leaning into TikTok Shop. In fact, the weeks leading up to the ban, massive amount of traffic on TikTok Shop and TikTok, because everybody thought that they were going to lose TikTok forever. And so the traffic, that 95 minutes a day, like skyrocketed to a minimum of 4 hours a day, that people were just soaking it all in, that they were on the platform like crazy. And sellers who leaned in, who got on the platform, who developed content, who were leaning in instead of pulling back, absolutely saw a massive spike in their sales during that time on TikTok Shop. And it's only carried on. So if you're like waiting for the best time to get on TikTok, the time is now. Like, this is the time. And because the amount of revenue that is associated with this, and we won't get into the politics of it, there's a lot of politics behind it as well. TikTok is not going anywhere. There's so much opportunity to be had in this platform. Lean in and get on there as quickly as you can, for sure. Okay, starting up TikTok Shop, and I want to do affiliate marketing. And my question is, I am the reseller of the product. To get the product approved, what address needs to be on our product box, ours or the supplier? So, okay, a couple of things. If you are a reseller, make sure that you have the legal, the legal documents from the manufacturer or from the primary seller, the brand itself, allowing you to be either a first level or second level reseller of the product. Otherwise, you won't be able to either use the brand or sell the product. Legally, the brand can can have you removed from TikTok. This is not like selling on Amazon where multiple sellers can sell all on the same buy box. That's not how it works. So as far as the product address, I don't know anything about that. I've never heard about that as it relates to the product packaging. So I assume because you're selling the product, it's a branded product, it's going to be the brand's address that's on the packaging, not yours. And if you are going to look into packaging, you might as well produce your own version of the product, as far as I'm concerned. So there is that. Could you recommend any best practices for working with TikTok affiliates to increase brand awareness on TikTok Shop? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so much to know here. And really when it comes down to it is you really need to focus on finding, filtering, and empowering those TikTok Shop affiliates with your brand information. So you're not just going to do what we call the spray and pray method of getting hundreds or thousands of samples out there of your product. You really want to be focused on finding the best affiliates for your brand, and then empowering them with your information, like what's going to sell, what's going to help them sell your product the best. You really do need to own that content creation strategy and not just be like, oh, well, they're the creators and they know how to be creative. No, they don't. They have product samples for days showing up at their door. And the second that hits as delivered, TikTok is holding them accountable for creating that content. This is not like working with sellers offline. TikTok actually holds TikTok affiliates accountable for completing content for the samples that they're receiving. So I think they have about 10 days from the time of receiving the product to actually producing shoppable posts on TikTok for it. And so they do not have time to really research and study how best to represent your product or your brand. So you really need to empower those TikTok shop affiliates with a good creative brief to give them direction on how best to represent your brand and your product. Okay, how can I improve SEO and traffic to TikTok shop? So SEO, so this one has me a little confused because SEO, like people don't, like search is high on TikTok and it's growing with a certain demographic population on TikTok. People are going to TikTok and doing searches first there as opposed to Google. And so absolutely make sure your title and your bullet points and your product descriptions have your main keywords in them. I wouldn't get crazy with it though. As far as like keyword stuffing or keyword loading, that can actually negatively affect your product listing. So you want to speak naturally and have a quality listing, but also understand that we're not driving traffic off platform to on platform. The traffic is already on TikTok, and we just want to show up and be relevant for the traffic and the people that are on there. Remember, it's almost 1 billion users or over 1 billion users are on TikTok. So you're not going to be like running Facebook ads to TikTok shop. Right? Doesn't make sense. So, so hopefully I'm answering that question correctly, but really lean into making sure your product listing content has your relevant keywords in there. Ashley, did you want to add something on that one? Okay.
Okay. No. I'm just a bit conscious of time because we've only got about 4 minutes left. So
yeah.
I think I just want to do like a quick fire questions through of like the pre-submitted questions. Of the questions that people have been submitting throughout the webinar. So Michelle, like Kayleen asks, is it better to have a lot of products or just a small selection? Same with content. Is it more effective to make a lot of videos or just one a week?
Oh, so those are two questions. I will answer the first one. So as far as product strategy goes for TikTok, I teach the tip of the spear strategy. Is what I call it, where you are really focusing on your best sellers, your best performing products, and really creating focus on that from a content creation perspective, on an affiliate outreach perspective, and an advertising perspective. I see over and over again that sellers are just importing all of their listings via the Shopify app or some other integration with TikTok, and it's diluting their brand message. Also, the way that the Shopify app brings over your TikTok listings is not actually how you want to set up your TikTok shop listings. And I really train a lot about that because you really want focus. And I would rather have less main listings and more variations under that main listing than having it spread out across a lot of different content, because how discovery works on the platform is a shoppable post linked to a video linked to a shoppable product on TikTok. And so I had a brand that sells caffeinated milk, chocolate milk, strawberry milk, vanilla milkshake, cookies and cream, peanut butter cup. And then they also have like a max chocolate that has like a little bit more caffeine in it. And originally they set up their listings so that every single product was its own listing. And I was like, no, we got to like collapse that and have all of those on the same listing so that even if the best seller is out of stock, all of that content, people are coming, they're seeing, maybe they came from a chocolate milk, maybe they came from a strawberry video or whatever. People are intrigued and they want to be able to see in one place every flavor that is offered. And that listing has, the best sellers have gone out of stock over and over again, but that listing continues, and the videos that link to it continue to serve and drive awareness for all of the different products under that listing. As far as the amount of content that needs to be created, you need to be investing in and creating at least 50 pieces of content a month on TikTok. So that is more than one per day. So if that's overwhelming for you, once again, think about like leaning into affiliate content and putting affiliates to work and creating content for your brand. If you're wanting to create content for your brand, it can be a supplemental thing where you're creating 5 pieces a week and affiliates are creating 10, those types of things. So there's lots of different ways that you can approach content creation on TikTok Shop for TikTok.
Okay, awesome. Brett's got a really good question. Does offering free shipping impact sales significantly?
Absolutely. Absolutely. 80% of buyers will not buy if there is not free shipping. So that's one of the strategies that I teach in the optimization step in my, I have a 5-step process for selling on TikTok Shop. And that's the second step is the optimization part of what you're selling is making sure that you have a combination of pricing strategies in place. And one of those strategies is free shipping. And TikTok requires free shipping for products that are higher than $30. So I've seen a lot of sellers play the $29.99 game, and I'm like, that is killing your conversions because buyers know that all they have to do is spend $30 to get free shipping on any products on TikTok, and you're denying them that by 1 cent. Like that's a huge issue with conversion.
Okay, awesome. We just got another question. Do we pay TikTok a commission on sales?
Yes. So the referral fee is 6%. Although when you're first getting started, the first 90 days is 2%.
Okay, awesome. Kim has another question. Sorry, we're just short of time, so just have time for maybe 1, maybe 2 more questions. Are there a list of banned words on TikTok that we should avoid?
Yes. There's a 76-page document of everything you can and cannot say, sell. It's the content guidelines, it's community guidelines for TikTok, and it's quite extensive. So once again, I would start with the prohibited products policy and make sure that you're not selling prohibited products. Any of you selling weight loss products, you gotta be real careful about what you say, how you say it. You cannot make any claims. More often than not, it's my supplement sellers that have the hardest time selling on TikTok.
Okay, awesome. Okay, guys, we just have time for 1 more question. Last one from Tyler. Should we as a brand create the content, or should we find content creators to share content on TikTok?
I think I've answered that question. So,
okay. Yeah. Okay, definitely.
Okay. Both, but I teach working with affiliates to create content to start with.
Okay, maybe just 1 sneaky last one. I struggle with knowing how long videos should be and what works on TikTok. Is there a general guidelines that work? Like for timing, for video length?
There's lots of strategies behind that. And sometimes what works for the algorithm changes on a day-to-day basis. So start off with shorter videos, like 10, 15, 30-second videos up to that time. And then you can obviously, like some of the videos that I shared with you were almost a minute long. So there are definitely different strategies that can work. The whole point is to play around with a variety of content styles and hooks. And man, I could teach a whole course just on content strategy for TikTok.
Okay, awesome. Well, brilliant. We're at time, guys. Obviously, as I said, we'll be, after this session ends, you should receive a recording of this session from our software provider, Demio. And then that will have a recording of the session. And then within the email itself, there's a link to a survey. And I know a few of you struggled a little bit with the QR code. If you want Michelle to get in touch with you, you can leave your email within the survey, and then I'll forward your emails over to Michelle. If you want to arrange a consultation or anything else, you can do that. Thanks you guys for your time. I've just put the pop-up back there if you want to have a 30-day free trial of the awesome plan. Just leave that there for a minute. And yeah, we look forward to creating more content for you guys. You've been a great audience. Thanks for your amazing questions.
Hey guys.
And we'll speak soon. Bye guys.